The widow of comedian Bernie Mac talks about life after his death. During her appearance on Oprah, Where Are They Now?, Rhonda McCullough talked about how she is still struggling with Bernie Mac's passing. Bernie Mac's widow, Rhonda McCullough, was left grieving for a lost love after his sudden and unexpected death on August 9, 2008. When McCullough appeared on Oprah, Where Are They Now?, she revealed that even after all these years, she is still struggling to come to terms with his death. "Since I was 16, he has been my entire life," McCullough claimed. "I had no idea what I was going to do. I mean, what's the point of me being here right now? What am I trying to accomplish? How will I manage to get there now?" Mac was admitted to the hospital due to dyspnea brought on by his inflammatory sarcoidosis, which affects the lymph nodes and lungs. After a while, he was put under sedation and given a ventilator to help with his breathing. McCullough remembers things getting worse when doctors tried to put a feeding tube in him. She went on, "He was just shaking and his eyes were just kind of wide open and he wasn't really looking at anybody." Mac was comatose and unresponsive, but McCullough begged her husband to persevere. "I begged, please don't die," the distraught woman recalled. "I declared that I was here. I'm holding out for you. I will see to you. Don't die, please. Stay alive." At the age of 50, Mac, who rose to fame on the HBO series Def Jam Comedy and went on to star in semi-autobiographical sitcom The Bernie Mac Show, Moshe, The Players Club, and Ocean's 11, was recognized as one of the original kings of comedy. In the world of humor, Bernie Mac's death on August 9, 2008, left an irreversible void. However, his widow, Rhonda McCullough, may have felt the loss the most. During her touching appearance on Oprah, Where Are They Now?, she talked candidly about her deep sorrow and continuous battle to move on from her husband's passing. Her description of love, grief, and the difficulty of finding meaning in life after a loved one passes away is moving. Bernie Mac was more than just McCullough's spouse. To her, he was everything. She remarked, "My whole life has been him since I was 16, thinking back on their close bond from an early age. Their relationship, which was the cornerstone of McCullough's life for many years, was based on love, friendship, and support for one another." She was suddenly left without a foundation and was left to struggle with the overwhelming question, "What is my purpose now?" Bernie Mac passed away unexpectedly and tragically. The comedian was admitted to the hospital as a result of lung complications brought on by sarcoidosis, a chronic inflammatory disease. At first, it was thought that his illness could be treated, but things got worse when his health declined. McCullough described the terrifying times she spent with her husband in the hospital when she saw him in a physically and mentally debilitated state. Losing a loved one can change your life, and for Rhonda McCullough, the late comedian Bernie Mac's widow, grieving his loss has been a difficult and long process. Bernie Mac, who died on August 9, 2008, at the age of 50, left McCullough with an emptiness in his wake but a legacy of laughter. McCullough discussed her life after Bernie Mac's passing in an intensely personal and candid interview on Oprah, Where Are They Now? She talked about her constant battle to find meaning and purpose in the absence of the man who had been her entire life since she was a teenager. Not only did Bernie Mac's passing affect the comedy community, but McCullough also experienced a personal tragedy. When she was just 16, she met Bernie Mac, and the two of them developed a close, long-lasting friendship. Capturing the depth of their relationship, McCullough remarked, "My whole life has been him, since I was 16. Bernie was more than just her spouse. He was her closest friend, her confidant, and her entire universe." She was left to deal with a deep sense of loss and the difficult question of how to go on living without him after his unexpected death. Both Bernie Mac's fans and the entertainment industry were shocked to learn of his passing. In the world of comedy, Bernie Mac was well-liked due to his distinct sense of humor, charismatic demeanor, and capacity for audience connection. His appearances on HBO's Def Jam Comedy, where his unvarnished humor struck a chord with millions of people, marked the beginning of his rise to fame. As a result of their success, they were cast in well-known movies like Ocean's 11, The Players Club, and Moshe. The semi-autobiographical sitcom The Bernie Mac Show was his breakout role, though, and it was this that solidified his legacy in television history. The program, which ran from 2001 to 2006, brought Bernie Mac's comic genius to the forefront and helped him gain a devoted following around the world. Lost a legendary comedian who made countless people laugh and smile. However, McCullough saw it as the death of a life companion, a shared dream for the future, and the solace of a well-known presence. It has been a long and challenging road for her to move on and find a new purpose in a life that was so entwined with Bernie Mac's. She said, "I had no idea what I was going to do. I mean, what good is it that I'm here right now? What do I hope to achieve? Now, how am I going to get there?" The anguish of grief never goes away, and McCullough's story serves as a moving reminder of the difficulties in starting over in the wake of such a tragic loss. Her open observations on her continuous struggle to get by without Bernie Mac emphasize the profound effects that love and grief can have on a person. She shows the world that grief is something that must be lived with, day by day, and is not something that can be easily overcome even years after his passing by continuing to search for meaning and direction. McCullough's tenacity and fortitude as she travels onward serve as a tribute to the strength of love and the enduring ties that bind us to the people we have lost. Her experience serves as a poignant reminder that despite unfathomable loss, one can muster the will to go on, pay tribute to a loved one, and despite the challenges ahead, find a new route forward. McCullough remembered the tragic scene, saying he was just shaking and his eyes were just, wide open, and he wasn't really looking at anybody. She begged her husband to hold on, holding on to hope despite the bleak reality. Her voice broke with emotion as she said, "I said, please don't die. I declared that I was here. I'm holding out for you. I will see to you. Don't die, please. Stay alive." Her frantic, fear, and love-filled words capture the anguish and powerlessness that frequently accompany the impending death of a loved one. The world's Bernie Mac fans were shocked to learn of his 50th birthday. Renowned for his extravagant persona, keen sense of humor, and capacity for making people laugh, Mac had grown to be a well-liked figure in the entertainment sector. His unreserved humor and distinct style immediately made him stand out on the HBO series Def Jam Comedy, where he first gained popularity. From then on, he starred in movies like Ocean's 11 and The Players Club, hosted hit television shows like Moshe, and eventually rose to prominence as one of the original kings of comedy. His most notable accomplishment was starring in the semi-autobiographical sitcom The Bernie Mac Show, where he won over millions of fans' hearts and showcased his comedic brilliance. But for McCullough, Bernie Mac was more than just a well-known comedian. He was her lifelong companion. She was left feeling incredibly lost and disoriented after his death. She said that losing Bernie meant losing a life she had known since she was a teenager in addition to her spouse. Even years afterward, she is still struggling with the issue of how to go on and discover a new mission. The narrative of Rhonda McCullough bears witness to the persistent anguish of bereavement and the challenge of charting a fresh course when one's familiar route abruptly vanishes. Her story is one of quiet perseverance, a quest for purpose following a catastrophic event that altered everything. Her words serve as a potent reminder of the enduring power of love and the profound wounds left behind when it is lost as she continues to navigate life without Bernie Mac.